Okay, well, I'm back. Excuse me, after rebooting. And of course, I have my trusty little error script right when I don't need it. I was trying to get it all. I saw that the page looked like my time wasn't counting up anymore, and I thought, oh no. And then I thought, oh, it's a stupid script error. I was sitting there playing my music, probably too long. Uh, I wish I could hear it. Actually, I can do that with the laptop, but it's kind of a delay, so it's kind of hard to. It does work, but I muted the laptop earlier. It's still muted, I'm sure. Then I remembered, oh yeah, the stream itself mutes itself. You have to turn on the audio. I just now saw that, and I was like, oh. So let's go to. I'm talking about the laptop over here. I got it on where I can, but I can't leave it on the. I even remembered, oh yeah, if I unplug my VGA, you can't see it. Then that'll make it not work as hard, not sending out that extra signal. But it's still getting that script error, so I can't monitor my live stream all the time. I can just go back and forth from it. I just go to my home page and then back to the YouTube live page. So let me get on my desktop, and I will plug in. Okay, my stream, yeah, my file's going good. Everything looks pretty normal, I think. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and close Crusader now because it's a heavy user, especially when it's got open to a window. I think it uses even more when it's open to a window that's actually writing a file. So we'll just have OBS and VirtualBox running. Okay, and so first I'm going to plug in my. I'm just going to leave it on desktop so I won't get myself confused. It's so easy for me to get confused, especially when I'm tired. Okay, I'm going to go plug in my 32 gigabyte SD card. I had to reboot so that it would remount after trying to mount it in XP. I remember now I have to share. If it's a regular USB stick, you can just mount and unmount them. But these SD cards and the adapters and that big I think it's the size that makes the difference. It's 32 gigabyte and the 4.5 terabyte. They'll work in there, but they have to be shared drives. Can't just mount them like a USB stick. So now there it goes. It mounted up like it should. It wouldn't mount anymore after me trying to do that. So now let's go boot up. Get the VirtualBox opened up and boot our XP back up. I don't know if we're going to have to run check scan disk again or check disk. See if I messed it up because it was one do updates again. It keeps hanging up in the updates. They'll work, but you know how it's always been that way. XP's been that way always. Sometimes it gets hung on. Some of them just take forever. Some of them really do get hung up. You never know until you wait for ever. And the thing is with that, you know, the way XP does it, it's on its way to shutting down. Well, it didn't have to do check disk. Well, I got to turn that volume down. That's driving me insane. But I've lost my volume button in my toolbar, menu bar, or whatever they call it. I always forget what they call everything anymore. Probably gonna have to get a cough drop. Wait for this to finish booting up, and then I'm gonna figure out where I just go into the program start menu to find it, I guess. Because I tried to figure out. I did not too long ago. I right-clicked on here and put it back in there, and now I can't remember how to do it. Maybe you can do it from the program itself. Let's see. All programs. Whoa. And it would be in accessories, I think. System tools. I don't remember where the audio volume app is. There it is. Right there. And I don't really want to leave it open all the time. It's just one more thing for the machine to try to, you know, use up. I guess I could put an icon for it on the desktop. Then I'll always, you know what happens when I do that? I keep clicking on it saying, what's that? I'm thinking, because I'm so used to being, you know, in the menu down there. Menu bar, is that what it's called? See, it's taking a little bit to open up. but I believe we're okay. Yeah, we're back like we were a while ago on system usage, so resource usage. Just going to have to wait on it. It's using the OBS Studio, and this is just pretty much the limit of this machine. But I did it before and it did work, so you just got to be a little more patient. Check my stream while I'm waiting over here. It's not showing the minutes, but yeah, it's got to wait till it finishes loading. And then my stupid script on the page will jack me up. I don't have Vivaldi on this. I would try that if I had. I don't have anything else on there, just there it is. All I have is watching two things at once gets me confused. Yeah, there's a script error. I really wanted to make sure my stream was good once I'm over there looking. So that's kind of almost harder than just doing it. It takes me more time, I think, than just opening up Firefox on this machine. Okay, master volume, wave. Usually you kind of got to turn the waves down a little bit. Yeah, because the master volume is not that loud. Line in is muted. I don't know if you could do a line in a virtual machine anyway. Let's turn it down to about halfway, because those system sounds are usually pretty loud. Oh, that was, yeah, they're still. Wow. Yeah, you gotta keep them way down there to keep them from being too loud. CD audio, that really ought to be all the way up. Line in, if it was there, I want it up all the way. PC speaker, well, it's not going to be able to control that, I don't think. But still turn it down in case it does try. Okay, now, maybe in the options, I can tell it to aux, video, CD, microphone. I always like to have them all in there. Most of them will be there. Well, on a real machine, they'd be there at one time or another. Recording. I'm not going to fool with that now. Don't be silly. No, I don't see anything. I thought there might be a place to say, oops, put that in the down here. Oh, it just saved it. Yeah, I don't see a place to tell it to always show up in the toolbar. I'm not going to leave it open though. I started to, but okay. Now let's get. Oh, I'm still on my live page. I forgot. It hasn't loaded yet either. That script error, it wouldn't even load. Get off of it before that machine starts acting up. Okay, everything's just like it was before. What do we want to do? Well, what I forgot to do. Dang, come here. I needed to add my 32 gigabyte SD card as a shared drive in VirtualBox before I boot up XP. So now I'd be trying to do that. I wish I would have remembered that. I had it in my head. Turn it off. Now it's going to try to update. I didn't even see that deal saying, you know, shut down without installing the updates. It must be right in the middle of something it really wants to install. Probably because I let it start installing, you know. 3 of 9 now. Well, before it gets too far into it, power it off. I'll probably end up blue screening it, or not blue screening it, but getting a blue screen check disk. Shared folders. Add. See, these are the ones I already have. The downloads folder, home Don, and Seagate expansion drive. So I'm going to try to find 32 gigabyte. Okay. And I'm not going to do auto mount. I probably do have auto mount turned on. I think I'll look and see. But it's not always going to be there like the other stuff is. Like, let's see. Can I right click, edit shared folder? Let's see. Yeah, it's on auto mount. Cancel. Seagate expansion drive, edit. Yeah, it's on auto mount. Now I'm going to try, hopefully I won't have trouble by not auto mounting it, but I know that when I take it out, it's going to give errors, you know, in VirtualBox. I really I remember that. So, oh, it's right there. Yeah, auto mount, yes, blank. Okay. I'm going to try to be able to mount it myself. I'm not quite sure how to do it. Probably do either if you double click on it, or well, you may go up there to the top like I did before and see it and say USB and all that. You know what? That ain't going to do it. I'm more concerned right now about making it work. Let's go ahead and do auto mount, because I really don't know what I would have to do to make it to mount it. If I had to do it in the command line, that would be a pain. I don't even know how to do that in Windows. Edit shared folder, auto mount. I may have already tried it this way and it didn't work right. Now it should work because the others do. Boot up, because I want to expedite this situation here. Okay. See, the whole point of having the laptop up and running so I could just glance over there and see. I haven't finished setting it up. It's a brand new install of Debian 8.8. And so it doesn't have... See, that's still a little too loud for me. And so I really do need... And I'm so used to being able to grab I actually have a real knob that you turn on my keyboard. It's one of the things I like about it most, but it doesn't work in this virtual machine in XP. It does in pretty much all the Linux distros, but for some reason it doesn't work in there. Probably, I might if I, you know what, I bet back in those days, this is old enough it worked in XP. It's USB, it has USB ports on it, they're 1.1. I probably would need to install a driver, I just now realized that. But folders, if I look at my computer, yeah, there it is right there. And I was going to say, where's my computer? I wanted to see how much space was left on this drive. Where is it? Do I have to go to C drive or something? Doesn't tell you still. If it is, I don't see it. Well, there's not a whole lot. I know that much. So yeah, I don't want to install any drivers or anything like that. 32 gigabyte. Okay, now there it is right here. Okay, make E2B USB drive. If you were going to make one, you'd run that. But I believe you have to. How do you do that? I don't think you can run that file from the driver you're making it on. I think you have to have it somewhere else. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and read the instructions again. And update the E2B drive. It's actually not something you need to use a lot. I don't remember exactly what it is you need to use it for now. QEMU test, that's another virtual machine app, which is a pretty good one. That will run it, I guess, in Windows. Yeah, you could test boot it. Menu list, that's the boot list. There it is. I just clicked on it now. I hope it didn't try to run because I wasn't ready to do that yet. Well, I don't know why all that went away over there. Uh-oh. Might have executed it this time. I thought you'd have to, it says, I think you have to run it as administrator, like right click, and I just wanted to click on it, right, so that I could right click and run it as administrator. I think it just was acting up. Explorer's kind of finicky. Okay, make this drive contiguous. It's working for some reason. I don't know why. So Windows NT command script. That's what a CMD file is. There we go. Now, right click and doesn't say in there run as administrator, so I may have to go to properties. Say run as administrator. Hope it's not going to turn into a problem doing it. Surely I wouldn't have to go log in as administrator on XP to do that. I think I probably forgot about that. Maybe I already told it to always run as administrator or something. I kind of don't remember. Seems like I always, the last several times I've ran it, I just double clicked on it. There's no way to do that right now. Oh, it doesn't say run as administrator anyway, so it doesn't matter. Dummy. Okay, double click, run. And you're not sure about the publisher? Well, I am. And that will basically defrag all the files on this 32 gigabyte SD card. And there it goes. Opens up a little terminal and starts running. And that's how I figured out it was defrag. It says it right there. There's the command. There, that's the file, I believe, and the actual app that it's running. It's a script to run an app. Now, even though that went away, well, it might have been done. Usually, sometimes it can take like 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes when a lot of work needs to be done. But it may have been finished. Either that or it errored out. I think the last time I ran it, it did that. Make, update. Okay. I don't have the cables plugged into the ASRock. That's what I wanted to run it on. And I don't have enough memory and all that to run it, to test it, you know, inside of XP, in a virtual machine, inside of a virtual machine. I wouldn't try that. I think the last time I tried to run it, it did that quickly, and I looked at it, and it was no errors. It was just done. Because I was expecting it to set, it'll bring up, when it's running and taking a while, it'll bring up a little GUI that'll tell you what's going on. There's not really anything much you can do in it, but when it has a bunch of files to make contiguous, it brings up a little GUI. But HTTP README. Let me look at that right quick. I hadn't thought about what my next step would be. The next step would be to put it in the ASRock and boot it. Yeah, to make one, right-click on ETB drive, run as admin, and run it as administrator, or read ISO docs, USB drive readme text. See htboot.com for more information. Okay, so anyway, like I said in my previous video, I spent a lot of time learning how to do this, and of course it's been a while since I did it, set it up, and I'm already forgetting most of what I learned. I can remember little bits and pieces. I'd forgotten about that actually until that error came up on that Hirens boot CD saying it's not contiguous, and it could be just that it didn't work. You know, it's not going to be fixed. But that's all you have to do, and normally, well, I remember the last few times, I remember that happened. The last few times I tried to run it, it didn't. It wasn't an error because I thought, did something go wrong? And I ran it like 3 times. And it was just done. I guess there wasn't really any big, any file, anything big enough to make it wait a while. Needed doing. I kind of want to, I don't think it'll hurt to run it again. Okay, we're going to say run it. We'll get our terminal window. I'm going to pay more attention. I was just looking at that. Only quick. Okay. Get like this. Yep, it quit. I don't think it's erroring out. I think it's just done. Because it didn't say anything else in there. Made me think it was anything wrong with it. And because, I kind of remember it doing that, and it worked. It booted on my other, everything except for Hirens is booted. I tried to, unless the machine itself wasn't compatible with it, it booted. So, Well, I'm going to shut XP down. I guess this time I will try to let it update if I can, because I can let it, even if I get done here and quit, I can let it do it while I'm going to getting cleaned up for bed. But I actually had planned to pull the ASRock out, put it up on my work table like I've been doing with my other machines, plugging it up there because I want to get that hard drive just not showing up out of it. And but I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm too tired and I've had to restart all this video 3 times, which, it's not a bad thing to have them shorter. It's actually a good thing. But I'm tired and it's too late. It's already 1:08 in the morning. But I want to boot it on something. I'll boot it on the laptop. Why the heck not? Okay. Let's see if I can. I don't know if XP is going to be hanging on to it, though. It's not done shutting down. Maybe it. We'll find out. Okay, I'm still on desktop, right? Yeah. Right click. Eject. Yep. Visi. I don't like to do that at all. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to force this because I doubt it would probably take hours, and maybe it'll finish, maybe it won't. I'll deal with it some other time. That's what I said last time, didn't I? That'll make my machine be able to run better anyway. Okay, now let's see if it will eject. Watch it do the same thing. Nope, no problem. It was XP. I figured that. Okay, now I can take it out and put it in the old lappy toppy. Let's, of course I can't show it very well, but I can show it. So, there. Right. Well, let's show it bigger than that, I guess. I can move it, but, I can move the camera, but... You know what I was thinking? This thing will boot to an SD card. Where is that? Would that be a better idea? No, let's do it just like this. This is how I intend to use it, as a USB stick. I could put it in the SD card adapter and put it in there. I have booted to a regular SD card there before. And as cheap as SD cards have gotten, you might, like I have a laptop, I might do that one day. I don't know. It's got a bad so everything's working on it, but it's got a bad hard drive and a bad screen. Of course, you could use it like a desktop, just plug it into a monitor. And I didn't want to buy a hard drive. I don't spend that much money, but I could buy a SD card for it. Well, I got that 64 gig, those Strontiums for $15 each. I got 2 of them. Of course, they went up now. They're good ones. I got a good deal on that. But let's see. How do I want to do all this? Okay, I can leave my preview like it is so I know what's going on, I guess. And I can switch if I want, because I got my wireless mouse and keyboard. I think I'll just pull them up here to use them. I don't type on this keyboard well, but I can do it. And the mouse, I can do this fine. I'll check my stream once. I try to anyway. You won't be able to really see it the way it's all whited out, and I can't. I don't. By the way, if anybody thinks, why don't you zoom in on what you're trying to show? Well, it gets so blurry you can't see it at all. So the only choice is to get the camera up closer, and then what I have done before is put the camera over there on the tray with the laptop, but it takes 5 minutes to set it up where you can see it. So I don't want to sit here and do 5 minutes of camera moving tonight, or I would. Half the time I do that. If you've seen any of my videos, you'll see I do all that all the time. But I'm going to just close the browser this time. It did have a green stripe up in the top, and of course, it was already locked up by that stupid script. It's starting to make me mad. Debane is good. It's not Debane. It's how Firefox and scripts do sometimes. And I do have the new version of Firefox on there. Even though Debane uses an older kernel and it didn't have the newest Firefox, it actually had kind of a remixed version of Firefox. They call it ESR. You can't see none of that, can you? Firefox ESR. They have two names for the same browser. It's still the same browser. Firefox ESR and iSweezel Firefox ESR. That's an older version, but what I did was just unzip the newest version onto my home Don, and I put a shortcut up here, and I'm running the new one. And it automatically updates itself through the Firefox servers instead of going through the Fedora domain repos, and it's all good. So there's the card. I normally don't like to use this Explorer style. I can't stand them file managers, but there it is. So I'm just going to reboot now, and I think it will automatically see that and boot up to it. I had a feeling I should put the camera over there like that today. I thought, well, I don't need two on me, so that's better than you know, nothing anyway. Now, yeah. What is it? Yeah, that's easy to boot. There we go. Worked good. Automatic. Well, it helped it. Well, that's kind of more towards the camera like that. It doesn't help much, but I'll just tell you what's going on here. It might help if I didn't have it to where it could see that at all. But if I turn it more towards me, the best I can get is my nose, and I don't think that's going to help. So I'm going to leave it like it is, I guess. All right, what do we want to see if it'll boot? Let's try one of those new windows. Actually, I know what I want to try. Two things that I'm mostly interested in right now to see if they work, and that's that yummy image, which may not work at all. Oh! That doesn't understand that, does it? Okay, I'll have to do some kind of, I don't know if I can just rename it to something, like something, you know, I'll have to look on the website and see how to boot a IMG file. I think it would work if I did it right. That was really weird. I never seen it do that. Okay. Just it was like the Matrix. I entered the Matrix. That's what it was. I just entered the Matrix. I got out. I went back to sleep. Oh, well. I'm tired now, so I need to go to sleep. Okay. What was the other one that I thought I wanted to make sure it ran? Oh, Hirens, but that's not as important right now. You know what I want to know is will Fedora... I know I've already installed Fedora 25 Mate, and it installed it, and it just couldn't. It ran okay until you started trying to watch a video on the internet, and it couldn't handle it. So Fedora Live XFCE on 64-bit, and then it asked you that. I thought I had to always answer that, but if you leave it alone, it'll just. Now I don't want to test the media. It should be fine. If it's not, I'll find out right quick. See how the XFCE runs on there. This is 26, the newest Fedora. Just came out within the last month or two. So let's see how it runs on here. I've already worked hard on getting the Bane up and running, got the Wi-Fi drivers working and everything. With Fedora, I didn't have to do nothing. Well, I think I might have had to install them in the repos, but with the Bane, I had to go and follow their instructions in the command line. It's been 2 hours, I think, or 3 doing it. I don't think I even made a video of that. I didn't because I thought, well, I didn't even know if it was going to work, and I didn't feel too good, and I didn't feel like setting up a video. I wish I had now because I thought I can just go back and make a video. I probably never will, and like make it short and sweet. But really and truly, the first time you do it is the one that it may be the only time you do it, and the other thing is. It may be the only time you're really going to make the video. So, yeah, if I move, see, I don't even have the monitor plugged in, so if I move the laptop to where and set the camera up to it, then I wouldn't be able to read the screen. That's as far away as I can read it right there. And the camera would have to be right where my hand is. And there's no place to set it. And I can't sit there and hold it that long. It would just be shaking the whole time. I don't guess I need to keep explaining that, do I? It's not booting as fast as I thought it would. There it is, live user, and that should go ahead and log in, I guess. I don't know, some of them, they used to always just automatically log in if you leave them alone, but it may sit there and wait on you. And the other thing is if you go ahead and click log in, it usually would like break something. It wouldn't work right in the live system. But I'm waiting and waiting. I don't see any little, spinning things that makes it look like it's going to log in. The mouse, nothing's going on. So I have booted this 26 before. I don't know if I did XFCE yet. I probably did because I had the alpha versions. I did it. Went ahead and did it. It didn't look like it was. Sometimes it takes longer than you would expect, but that seemed long enough to me. But yeah, it's really weird. It's happened a lot with, and not just, Fedora, Debian, either one. If you go ahead and click, instead of waiting for it to count down and do it automatically, there'll be something breaking in the X server, and it'll jack up and stuff, or some random app won't work right or something. It's kind of odd, but it happens a lot. Yeah, see, it's really not very fast. You can tell already, even with XFCE. So 26 is just a bit much for a core. That's a dual core with 3 gig of RAM. Oops, what's this? Looks like boot IMG crashed. Huh. So that's why it was acting so funny. I don't think you can report it. You can, but I mean, you'd have to log into I'm sure you'd have to log into the bug reporting system to the Fedora bug. I just want that to go away. There we go. Click it in the middle. So let's just go straight for the web browser and see what it looks like. So 115 gigabyte volume, 32 gigabyte SD card. So that's the drive that I put Debian on, 115 gigabytes. Should have more than that. Oh, the rest of it's in system stuff. Okay. Fedora homepage. I don't think it'll play. Well, it might play YouTube videos without adding anything. I don't put Flash or Java on them anymore. I did type it right. Okay. Let's see. I can't go to automatically just go to my page because I'm not logged in and I don't want to log in. And all the junk they have on here, most of all of it's junk I don't even want to see when you don't log in. Get your personalized thing. Plus, I generally, I'm afraid to play a video in my video and get a copyright strike on my video. At the very least, they'd like mute the audio or something, so I guess I won't do that. Okay, here's what I can do. Search for my channel. They've gotten so ridiculous about this stuff. There's my channel. Let's see. And there's some of my videos right there. I'm just going to click on that playlist right there. My playlist do show up. If you search for, if you know my username and you search for that. Oh crap! It's got ads. Yeah, because I don't have ad block on here. There we go. Well, it's playing it. Yeah. I can hear the fan working hard, but it's playing it just fine. Let's see. Oh yeah, this keyboard has audio controls on it that actually work, I think. Can't see it good enough to tell though. I think they'll work on the laptop. Yeah, they do because I used them before. Of course, I don't have it plugged into my speaker system. I just want to be able to see that it was working. Hear it. Unless it's muted. I don't think they are working. I can barely hear me and I'm turning it up and it's not going up. but it's playing it just fine. Well, it worked in 25, I think. Worked in the last version I used watching TV and everything. But it is not working. I'll probably have to install something to, well, maybe once it was installed to the machine, it would find all the drivers and then it would work. Anyway, that was me working on something in the garage. So, yeah, that works. I can't hear it, but let me see if I can. See, I can't see any of those buttons. I don't know what I just touched. It turned blue, whatever it was. The audio is not responding on the machine itself, so I don't know what's going on. I did mute it with my keyboard earlier when I had it, and see, I'm not switched over to it, so my keyboard wouldn't do anything anyway. I still have the USB plugged in. Anyway, we're not here to play one of my videos on my live stream anyway. Okay, so it does work, and it worked in full screen, and it didn't actually seem to be lagging. Before, it would just cache and everything and wouldn't work right. Let's see what we got in the way of network. See if it saw the Wi-Fi card. No, it's just using the wired. So I would probably have to, if it, I would, but probably since 25 worked, I can stick my hand up there. Probably all I'd have to do is just go and install RPM Fusion and then just install it from, you know, the repos that way. Probably might not be in the regular Fedora repos, but and actually Fedora started coming with enough apps to be a system now. It didn't have anything hardly for all these years. I mean, there's still a lot more that I want, but I don't like Parole. Never used a Sunder either, really. I mean, it might be all right. Paraga, I think I tried that recently, and that didn't really wouldn't play much of anything. Oh, it just has AbiWord. Like I just was going to say, it used to only have AbiWord and not OpenOffice or LibreOffice. 25 had LibreOffice on it. Oh, this is XFCE. I bet when you get Mate Desktop, you get more stuff. Oh, okay. So you're going to have to install. It doesn't have much. What I saw was settings. So what was it? Yeah, settings. That's why I said, oh, yeah. But then oh, that's just settings. So anyway, XFCE, I like it, except for there's a lot of things that are much harder to set up and do what you want with in it. Now, what I mostly like about XFCE is the app search. I put that on every machine I have, and I install at least enough of the XFCE desktop to get that working. Usually I just install the whole thing as a backup desktop, but I don't use it. I use Mate, unless my machine is too old to use. Like this one's now, it didn't used to be too old to run Fedora, but as of probably, well, I skipped from 21 or 2 to 25, and it couldn't handle it. That's what I did. But it was already getting to where the YouTube videos were making it work too hard and cache and stuff because the machine couldn't handle it, not because of my network connection. So, and anyway, we're going to go ahead and reboot because I want to try out the next thing, which would be, I think I'll try Hirens, the one I was talking about and showing. Let's see if that make file, maybe that make files contiguous isn't working right, you know, because it just goes through and, I mean, I saw no errors, but that's not completely unusual for something to not work. It is in Windows XP anyway. Now in Linux, if there was an error in the terminal window, you're going to see it, you know. It's not going to just close like that automatically. Of course, that was a script causing that, so that's probably the way the script was written. was a script that made it run in the first place. But I know Parting Magic was working fine. And I added Rescue Tux and Super Grub Disk 9588, Super Grub Disk 2. Actually, Super Grub Disk 9588 will fix Grub. Super Grub Disk 2 will only boot your machine to whatever bootable media is there. Then there's another one, the hybrid. I think it's actually older, Super Grub Disk Hybrid. They're both hybrids, but I think 2 is newer than that one there. That's red right now. You can't tell, can you? You really can't see what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, what I wanted to go to, I'm in the wrong menu, so I need to go back. I just have to tell instead of show and tell. Back to main menu, and I want to go to utilities. No, I want to go to Windows boot menu. I think that's where Hirens is. And it shows 2 Hirens, and I can't tell which one's which. Doesn't show me the extension. I'll just try both of them and see what happens. Error: Hirens boot CD is not contiguous, or is corrupt, or missing. Please run rmprep USB control F2 and run make this drive contiguous CMD. Well, I already did that. To defrag all files. Okay, to avoid this prompt, ISO, do not use ISO as a file extension. Okay, now this is what I had already done. Instead, use ISO default. Oh, or set no SUG. Oh, that's this one where ISO default. I don't know, for some reason I had named it some other one that I don't even know what it really means. Oh, use ISO win VH file extension. Oh, yes, no, and so I had just renamed it to that so I wouldn't get that message. But what I need to do is rename it to ISO default. Take a screenshot of that. Okay. Tempted to. Okay, I'm going to grab my handheld and I'm going to take a video screenshot of it. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Show myself. Let's see if I can get still enough. Okay, there it is. Of course, it's not. You're not going to be able to read it with these cameras very well, no matter what. You can't really read it. But down kind of in the middle there, it says to avoid this, use ISO default as the file extension. Well, I had done it, and maybe that's part of what I did wrong, or maybe that's the way it's supposed to work. But it says use ISO.ISO win VH file extension. Yes, no, and I had renamed it to ISO win VH. One of them, of course, I have 2 in there now. But this is a message I got on the ISO win VH, so I'm going to get out of here and try the next one. That was O. I'll try number. They're listed O, 1, 2, 3. That was O, so I'm going to try 2. And if I can, I'll just hold this here this time. Oh, I can't move my mouse that way. Okay, I'll try it this way. Left-hand mouse, right-hand phone. Okay. There, that's pretty hard to do. And then the file not contiguous, though. And see, now that, usually when they say that, it means it and you need to run that. But I tried to run it and it didn't work. Maybe it didn't work. Maybe I was wrong about that. Maybe there is an error there. ISO file is smaller than ISO when Hirens boot. You know what? I remember reading some instructions that's a common error with specific to the Hirens boot CD. Something about the way it's compression that's used in making it. And enter to try ISO boot for Linux ISOs only. This is not a Linux ISO. Can you just get out of there? I'm going to hit escape. No. Okay, what did that do? That went to Hirens. Weird. I don't think it'll run anything. Let's try it. That's what I was wanting to run, was MiniXP. This is why I don't try to hold the camera. I got my arm resting on the mic stand at least, but trying to do all this at once. And I'm right-handed. I used to actually be able to use my left hand just as well as my right to write and do most things, but I can't do that as much anymore. I get confused. But, yeah, I wish my... Wish I could figure out how to set my tripod over here, right over here. I'd have to take my keyboards completely off of there, and then that still wouldn't really be possible, or would it? It's much better to have the camera up close. It looks like it's trying to boot. I don't see any errors yet. I hit escape. I still don't know which ISO. Well, it booted. Okay. Ow. I'm going to switch back to, let's do 1 and 2 or something while I change everything. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this back over here. I'm glad I just thought of that. I'm glad you told me to do that. Okay, so I'm going to move what I have to, but not everything. I think I can put this keyboard in my lap or something. Yeah. That way I can probably just reach it. And I can put this. This will really be awkward, but I think I can just get away with doing this and still function. There. Oh, the way that camera is on that, yeah, that's as far over as I can go. I can actually use the mouse with my right hand now. I think the camera, yeah, the camera is not responding very good. So I'll turn this towards the camera about as much as I can. Is that actually worse? It's not, it's taking so long to, yeah, the other way is better, I think. Okay, so it's going to be crooked, but it's better than it was. Now, I'm going to try my trick I learned here tonight. Don't know if it'll help, but I'm going to go to desktop stream and then go back to camera. You know what? While I'm at it, let's go. Haven't checked my actual stream at all. Let's see if it's even still streaming. I really kind of need the keyboard to be pushed forward more, but that would mean I would be even further off centered of the laptop. So I'll just leave it. Yeah, the way that did not work on the Debian system there, I mean, I don't get those script errors in Fedora with the same version of Firefox, so it does have something to do with it being on Debian. Could be. Well, it could be. I have all kinds of, I don't think I have any of my ad blockers, and some of that stuff may be stopping that script from causing that error too. Could be these things I have in my browser add-ons. So it hasn't finished loading, but once it does, it should be all right, I think. Let's try it again. It looks like it didn't really load right. When it sits there just spinning up there trying to load. Make sure, am I still on desktop? Yeah, I'm on desktop. There we go. So yeah, I got a good stream. Everything's cool. So, but I can't just stay on it. I just click on a link there. That's my, I'm not signed in, but that tells me if my servers, I think I can log in, yeah, without tapping anything in. That tells me if my server's online or not. And I get emails if it goes down, so I don't have to just go here all the time. But yeah, I'll leave it like that, and because it won't use up too much resources, I don't think. Yeah, it's more than I wanted it to use up. It'll be all right, I guess. Okay. Cam 2 all by itself. There we go. It's crooked, but if I can't turn it anymore, it's going to fall off of my tray. It's barely on there as it is. I think it, yeah, it's okay like that, but I can't turn it any more than that. Okay, now keyboard. Oh, you know what? I can get that keyboard back on there now. Yeah, it's a tiny little keyboard. It fits in there with that. All I had to do is shove my big monitor out of the way. I mean, my big keyboard out of the way. Shoved it back till it's hanging off the back there. Yeah, I can actually type like a normal person this way. Can't mouse very good, but I can type. Okay, so this is Hirens Boot CD. It is a MiniXP, or there's more than one thing on there. There's all kinds of tools on here, but it has some basic, just the basic like what you would get with a new install. of XP, but it also has all these apps. You know what? I don't think the little menu, it usually shows up over here on the right. It didn't work. Sometimes it doesn't when things don't work right, and so all the Hirens apps are missing. They're portable apps, every one of them. What was that I clicked on? Oh, desktop. My computer. Gave a screenshot. The little icon for it's not even there. I don't think you can find it in here. But that's what Hirens is if you've never seen it before. Wish I would have done this a while ago. I kind of kept in the back of my mind maybe I should try moving the camera, but I thought, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna help. Okay, here's what I'll do then. Gonna reboot the whole system again. And go try the other Hirens ISO. And I still don't know for sure which one I'm booting to is the thing. I don't know which one to delete. I guess hopefully what order they are here is like what alphabetical order they are. I think the one that was .ISO showed up on top of the other one. I'm not sure anymore. Utilities, Windows boot. Yeah, that's for other types of Windows things is what it is. Okay. Yeah, see, they're both Hirens 5.2. Oh, one of them is Hirens, and the other one is Hirens/boot CD, so maybe I can pay attention to how the file's named. Figure it out. I didn't even notice that. That one worked. Boot from the drive, and you have to hurry up and make, even if you're flipping through, I found that out the other day, if you're flipping through to all the stuff it'll do, see it's got a plot boot manager, con boot, you can fix, get Linux passwords that are lost, smart boot manager, fix NTR, LDR missing. I tried to use it the other day to fix my Windows 7, but it didn't really, it does have one thing, I never got to that part. Fix the boot manager for Windows 7. I might be able to do that. Actually, I got to this, and then it wouldn't. When I tried to boot MiniXP, it wouldn't boot. I think this is the other image that I put on there. Yeah, because the error I got before on the other one that I had renamed. So this one, I must have renamed it and screwed things up by giving it the wrong kind. I misunderstood how to rename it. It didn't tell me to rename it that way. It told me to rename it with default, whatever. I already forgot what it said. But I'll try to boot it again to get it on video, I guess. I might in a minute. We'll see. Yeah, I'm getting all into this stuff, and now it's getting close. It's almost 1:45. There's the Hirens boot menu. See, it just didn't boot right. But see, it has more on the desktop. I think when you click on Internet Explorer, you don't actually get Internet Explorer. You get you get some other browser, which is funny that it uses that icon but gives you the other browser, which I'd prefer to use that other browser. But anyway, but see, and it's a portable mode. See how it opens up a script, Opera. You get Opera. Yeah, script opens it up, and it'll work. Okay, I mean it's old, some older version, but I'm just going to close it. You have to put it online. It doesn't automatically. You got to do network setup and all that stuff. You can. I think it'll even do some wireless cards and stuff. But here's the menu right here. Now this is all the tools, and most of these are pretty old versions. See, I mean they are old versions. This was made back before XP was retired. So I don't know what year, 2014 or something, maybe before that. But it has lots of tools that are still usable, though. Some of them won't run. You'll run into, or some of them, you click on them, they say, well, you can try to run this, but it really would run better if you would just install it or whatever. And I forget what it says. It needs to be installed to run right or something. And anyway, you just have to, but most of them, I mean, it's just a few that does that. Browser stuff, browser file managers, cleaners. And this is where I learned about a lot of things I'd never heard of for Windows. These are all for Windows. This is not Linux apps. Some of them will work on 7. Most of them are, like I said, for XP and previous. But the hard disk stuff, that's good on hard disk. I mean, it's got nothing to do with your operating system. And some of that file system stuff. Oh, here's some stuff. EXT, uh, EXT to Explore. You can see Windows can't read Linux file systems, and I'll go ahead and just install this on my systems once I discovered it. And this may be where I discovered it. There's another one, EXT2FS. That's the one. I think that's the one I always use. Well, it does EXT2 and 3. Linux really doesn't use EXT2 and 3 anymore. They use EXT4 and then LVMs, and actually, I think 26 might be BTRFS or BRTFS, and one of the newer ones. And there's another one, but you can read, like the Linux hard drive on here. I could open that up and read the Linux hard drive if it would run and everything like it's supposed to. So I started to do it, but let's just go through these notices and open up all these apps. Hard drive, some really cool tools for hard drive stuff. Especially if you're not into Linux and you're used to using Windows apps. Some of these are command line apps, or well, they're like CLI apps. They're like you either click or go through with the keyboard. You don't have to type out the commands. There's a few, one or two maybe in there that you do. Networking tools, all kinds of cool networking tools. Defraggler and all stuff like that. That's where I learned about Defraggler. I think it's a good alternate Windows defrag tool. I actually use that's where I found it. Glary Utilities. I think that's the first time I saw it was in here. More partition boot and MBR tools. And that's why I still keep it around, because all these tools are just as valid. Most of them are just as valid now as they ever were, because the hard drive stuff is still pretty much the same, unless maybe some of the very newest SSDs or whatever. Password and key stuff. Processes and working with explorers and killing. Of course, the thing is, some of these can do what's they call remote work, and so you can go into your if you had Windows on here, Windows, and work on the actual Windows install, not this MiniXP. It wouldn't do you any good to run some of this stuff on MiniXP. It's fine. It's a unwritable, it's a not a writable file system, so it's not going to be messed up, or unless you used to make it writable somehow. And registry tools, I've used them a lot, and some encryption stuff, startup stuff, and you have to pay attention if any of these apps don't allow you to select the drive you scan on, then it's just going to scan MiniXP, and of course it'll just come up clean. Should. System information is either CPU-Z, GPU-Z. Some of those are pretty well known. SIW, that's a really good one. That just runs from the executable period. Specky's a really good one. I don't know if some of these I might have already known about. I don't remember where I learned about. I think I learned about CPU and GPU-Z somewhere else on the internet, and then go, oh, hey, that's on here, and I didn't even notice it, More testing stuff. Tweakers. And you probably can't read that on the screen. I'm still not close enough, am I? But at least you can kind of see the colors and the shape of that stuff now. And 90, that's on here. You go to the website 90.nite.org, I think it is. It might be .com. And you can pick what apps, free and open source apps that you want to install. Pick them, and then it will build you a script. You download the script and run the script on your Windows computer, and it works on 7 too. It works on 10 too, because I know that, because I didn't do it, but I know somebody that did, because I had already told them about it for 7, and or XP, I don't know, whatever. But anyway. It will automatically install them, and then if you want to run it again later, it'll automatically update your apps too. Of course, it will only get those in that script, but so I use Glary Utilities for that kind of stuff. Hirens Boot CD Customizer. You can add apps you want to be. I did that once. I had some apps that you want to be on there. I don't know what I ever did with that. I think maybe the image didn't work exactly the way I wanted it or something. But you can make you a new image with the apps, portable apps that you want to add to it. Actually, you can do this. You can install it inside of your running MiniXP, like the custom CD image ISO, and then it'll already be installed when you boot it up. But I think maybe it didn't, still had some problems or something. I don't remember. Anyway, Glare Utilities, I didn't see it. It's in there somewhere. Pretty sure it's on here. But this is a good tool. So, and the networking, it's not hard, but you do have to pay attention to it. And you go through here, yeah, I see IP, obtain IP address automatically. Oh, just leave it like that. I'm trying to remember. You don't. I don't remember. How do you make it do it automatically? You don't have to. You don't have to set it up, really. You don't have to type a bunch of stuff in there. You don't have to know all that. You just click in the right places and it'll do it. Wi-Fi started. Oh, it's not going to work. But there's a bunch of stuff in here you can do, but I think the app's hanging up. Now it's coming back. Oh, Marvel Yukon. I don't know if that's right. I guess so. Yeah, that's right. I didn't know that's what it had. I thought it had a Realtek, really, but a Broadcom. It has a Broadcom Wi-Fi driver, a card chip. I know that much. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm not trying to do that right now. But you just have to kind of pay attention to what it says in there, and it's not really too hard. So I can delete that other Hirens. I'll delete the one that has a funny extension on it, I guess. Evidently what I need to do. And of course the Windows 7 installs, but you can't use the install stuff without having that helper file. I didn't ever get into showing how to do that. I believe the file is, I don't know if it's on that. No, I don't think you're supposed to leave it on your boot, the one you boot to. You have to go, I had to go get it out of my backup for the not Hirens, easy to boot. Let's see, Devane, I've already done that recently. Party Magic, Rescue Tux, Super Grub High Red, Yummy wouldn't boot. It went nuts. I have to figure, I don't know if I can. I'll have to learn how to do that if it's possible to even do it. Super Grub Hybrid, Rescue Tux. I think that's the same one I ran the other day trying to fix my AS Rock. I didn't say that today. I'm debating about, I've been looking for a machine for my mom to use while I'm rebuilding hers, upgrading her operating system and everything. And this one would be perfect. It's just that, I was using it for Windows 7, but I could put another hard drive in it, or I could maybe reformat that 200 gigabyte that's in there after I make sure I got all my files off of it. I think I already have them backed up. But I'm going to have to take that hard drive out and make sure it's not broke or anything. I think it's just not seeing it, unless the power supply's gone down because it couldn't handle two hard drives. But anyway, going out, it's going out of whack. And that's what actually happened to my Windows system. That's very possible. Anyway, whatever the case, I could put Fedora 26 on it. It would run, I could put XFCE. That's why I booted it. I wouldn't put... it's only a dual core with 2 gig of RAM, so I wouldn't try 26 Mate, which is what I want to. Well, I'd like for her to be able to run that. I could try it and see if it could do it, but I don't think it would handle it because this laptop wouldn't handle 25 mate, so I don't think 26 mate would run good on here. I could try it. I was fixing to try Super Grub this just to see, but that's all stuff I've seen. I don't need to run that on this laptop at all. Let's say make Compass 64. Let's try it. And uh-oh. You know what? I don't think that might. I think this is what happened because that's what it is. Those files are not contiguous. They might be in the middle of trying to be made contiguous. I think that that something wrong with my little make files contiguous script. It didn't run right for some reason. I've ran it before in that XP virtual machine and it ran perfectly. I wonder if I could just defrag that drive with a regular defrag app. Of course, I don't have any. Well, I might have something. I think I have Glare Utilities in XP there. I could do that. Let's go back in the Linux menu. That was a surprise. But I just ran the XFCE 64-bit and it ran. So that's why I'm like, whoa. Let's try the 386 version. And just wait on it. That seems all right. As far as the well, no, there would be I think 64-bit Windows 67 64-bit needs a minimum 2 gig of RAM, and 32-bit runs okay on that ASRock. And it ran okay, fine. It ran fine on this laptop, and that's what I was getting at. I'm debating about. I could turn. I don't want to really, but I could turn this. I don't have a big enough hard drive to run dual boot. It just fills up in no time. Well, I could. But I wouldn't be able to really do any kind of work on it. It would just be piddle around with it here and there, which is all I really do anymore. I could dual boot it to Bane like I have it now, and I'd have to try to. I've already got it on there though. The easiest way to do a dual boot is put Windows on first and then put Linux on, and then Grub will automatically just make it a dual boot. If you have it the other way around, you get into lots of trouble. But I could. Just put it, Windows 7 on it, but I'd probably just hate it, and I'd be like, I can't even use my laptop because that's very, very little I want Windows for. The only thing I want it for right now is to back up all my photos and videos to Google Photos off of my backup drive, my USB backup drive. But this thing makes so much noise, I can't stand to listen to it run all the time either. And that ASRock's down there in my rack. It's not real quiet, but it's not super loud. And as long as it's not too hot in here, I can let it run day and night if I want to. And which I haven't let it run at night because I didn't want to hear it, because it's pretty loud when I go over there and get in the bed, because it's over close to the bed and it's hitting that wall. It's hitting the curtain. That helps a little. But it is right there by my ears. But when I'm up here in the chair, and I have a desk to divide me from it. Okay, so it doesn't boot automatically. This one's not either, so I had to click on it. So, I'll open up Firefox in this one too and see if, and go to my one of my videos and see if it'll play it. It's already seems slower. It's not even finished loading the the boot up yet. That's pretty slow for that machine. When it has an operating system on it like Fedora 22, or no, I started with 19 and got up and kept upgrading it till I got to 22, and then I couldn't upgrade. I had to reformat. And I just left it like it was for years. Because all I did was watch TV. I'd plug in an S-video cable and watch TV on it. But then, it was getting so far behind. Well, it still did that. That happens a lot with live systems, though. Kernel oopses and stuff. Boot image, That's why it took so long, I guess, to come up. Okay. So once you had it installed and all the updates done, it would quit all that stuff. Laptops are harder to get working on Linux still to this day than desktops. Not better than they used to be. Like the Wi-Fi drivers aren't as hard to get put on and all that, or they weren't. Not in Fedora, they are on Debian, regular straight Debian. I probably should have. You know what I should have done? I think I'll have to do is say youtube.com/dweeb98. Now it'll take me to my channel. No, that did not work. This page isn't available. Did I type it wrong? Yes. Accidentally got two E's in there. It's only one E. dweb98. That sounds better than dweeb. DNF Dragora. Oh, 344.8 updates available. No, I don't want to update my live system. Now we're on my channel. I'm going to bookmark it for right this minute. Let's put it on my toolbar. It'll make my toolbar show up. Well, of course. I don't want my toolbar showing up. Now I don't know how to get rid of it. Stupid. Okay, there's live now. It's not recognizing the video formats available. Well, it did in the 64-bit on my other video. Is live something different about the live videos? Let's go to one that I've already streamed in a, no? Well, isn't that strange? Let's go to some other video of mine. Let's see. That's a very old video of mine. Let's see if it plays that. It's probably going to, I guess. Yeah. So whatever they're using for the live format is not recognized by Fedora. I just didn't try that, so I didn't know right off the bat. Let's see. I'm on my channel. Now where's my live section? I think I have to go to Video Manager. I can't see Video Manager. I'm not logged in. So I can only try to look at it through the public live stream, and it don't work. Well, it's not working. There's the live chat and it's empty, but the video itself won't play. Huh. Surprising. I think it would have worked. Well, I got out of my video so quickly, but it was playing just fine. Let's go back into another one again. Let's see. I'll just let's click on videos this time. Okay, now here's one I did the other day that was a live stream, but let's see if there's any difference. Yeah, it works. So it's just whatever's, what am I using? I'm using FLV, and I don't have Flash on here, so I guess that's it. I'm using FLV to stream up to YouTube. It uses less resources on the machine and streams. Well, that was the default for OBS Studio, and I tried changing it a long time ago, the first time I used it, and I found out by experimenting that FLV works the best, even though it's Flash, and I didn't really want to fool with Flash. It's behind the stream, the camera's behind, but let's see if I can turn now the volume's working. There we go. Yeah, for some reason it wasn't working before. It might have been part of what crashed. Of course, the speakers are so, but it's playing fine. So that's one of the machines I was working on this last week, 2 weeks, 1 week, I don't remember now. Okay, so that's fine and dandy. Okay, now we're in Mate. Let's see what Mate gives you. Accessories. Yeah, LibreOffice. Okay, so it's the desktop spin that decides what, to add this stuff. I thought it was just what Fedora was given. I didn't think about the desktop spin being, it's not, but there's not much else in there. That's all they really give you. I think overall, XFCE gave you more apps, more system tools and stuff to control things, which are actually pretty important because it's hard to remember them and get them and install them. And they're not hard to install if you. I always used to make install scripts. But there's always some apps. I'm going to have to stop. Always some apps that don't work. But in Yum, I would use Yum skip broken, and it would get. I might say 99% of everything would work. No, I never noticed things not working that was important to me. Let's put it that way. And I used to, in my Fedora 14 system, I would run that script that I built from it on new systems, and that's like 3,500 apps I had on that thing. Take about 2.5 hours to run it, and then once it was done, I had a new system all ready to go. But I haven't been able to do that ever since I got up, say, to past Fedora 22, I guess. Ever since I got to Fedora 23, and Fedora 23 is when I couldn't do that anymore because, and it hadn't started with DNF yet. It's just that the apps were too old, and and my scripts had the app versions in it, and I didn't really even think thought about taking the version numbers off, but some of them wouldn't install that way. So I just left all the version numbers in and everything. But when you jump that far ahead, you actually need the version numbers gone for it to work. I can't believe I gotta have another cough drop. But then when DNF came out to be the new, app controller, it didn't have script broken. I think it does now, but I haven't tried to make a new install script since DNF came out as the new app manager for. And for my Fedora 23 system, I still have YumX on there, and I don't know if I actually have. No, I don't have Yum on there, the whole thing, but I just have YumX, and it'll run. You can use YumX, but all the installs go through DNF. But on the newer ones, you can't do that. Somehow I got the light turned on my magnifying glass, and she's been laying there burning up the battery. Okay, so nothing else to see. I guess you could see what I was talking about if you can see it. Man, that camera's way behind. I didn't realize it was so far behind. But all the volumes are already mounted. There's my hard drive. And this is debanged, so it's not like what I was talking about Windows not being able to see. I kind of wish I'd opened that app, but it wouldn't really matter. There's what I have downloaded in debang, the files I've used. There it is, already there. And the 1.6 gigabyte volume, that's the live OS. 32 gigabyte SD, that's what I'm booted to, and then I can access my files if I needed them. You can use Fedora for a rescue system if you need to get your files back really easily. As long as you don't have to need to work with partitions that are lost or something. If you have lost partitions or something like that, you're gonna need test disk and stuff, which you could do that in Fedora, but it's already installed in Party Magic, so I use that usually. Debang will do. It's good for, like I said, it won't auto mount the file systems, and so you can just use Debang. Or I use Party Magic because it's easy to do. It's got all those tools in it. I gotta let my cough drop work a little bit, but I have done it. Used gparted in Debang because it doesn't mount the file systems automatically, and you can work with your do partitioning. I guess this is going to have to be the end of my little session. It needs to be. Been stupid and staying up all night here if I don't look out. So I'm going to reboot that. And I don't think I need to boot anything else anyway. But I am going to have to find a way to get that make files contiguous, or I may try. I wanted to do it tonight, but I'm not going to. I can't even talk now. Put it in XP and run Glare utilities and see if I can just defrag it. I think it's the same thing. It's just, I think regular defrag would work. I should probably read on the site though first and see if there's something I need to do. Like run that update app or something. But I think those files that just did nothing but show zeros and stuff, I think they're completely in the middle of being defragged. I think they were being defragged and didn't get finished. And that's why they go crazy when you access them. See if Super Grub Disk will run for a second. What I think is the newest one. I'm wondering if, yeah, okay. Yeah, that one might make me to be able to try and boot Windows 7. One of those things might fix my Windows 7 boot, but I don't know if I care anymore. I was really going to reformat it anyway. I guess I'm done. Protect any operating system. Should see the bang. Not that it's broke, but let's see. In the kernel looks like. I don't know if it'll work like this or not. We'll see. I think it did. This doesn't change anything. This just finds them and boots to them, which can be useful. If you have a working operating system but a broken boot, it'll do it with Windows too. Yeah, booted it up. So, don't really need to log into it though. So, although, let's see, maybe I should. Just to make sure I don't get anything in this wrong state, I can get it booted up and then eject the, you shut it down properly and take out the USB stick and all that. Or eject it and then shut it down. If you just pull those out of Linux without properly ejecting them, you can cause write errors on them and mess them up. Can in Windows 2. Actually, let's see. Eject. Okay, good. Now I don't know why, but as soon as I started the cough drop, now my nose is running so bad. About to run. Gotta get my glasses off. Sorry. Okay, this is end of my show and tell. Guess I'll quit one way or the other. I get to either quit out of good sense or I'll quit when I can't go on. Okay, so I'm quitting when I can't go on. Yeah, see the screen is the full size of the laptop screen now because I don't have the VGA cable plugged in. But all right, shut that down. Yeah, that easy to boot is really handy though. There's a few things that you got to work out with it to keep it working right and everything. But you can put you can so easily change them. It takes a long time to use the other ones. I can't even, my voice is so bad I can't say the names of them right now. So you switch. Yeah, you don't need to see me like that. I'm in bad shape. All right. Well, I'll put this other camera over here. Now, my website's still up. Oh, yeah, I remember now. First try of loading the Uptime robot, it didn't work, so I'll just use that link. I put that link up there for a purpose, just to get quickly to that. Man, can't believe I do that every time I go talk very long. Okay, well, I'm done, and I just want to see my stream was still good, and eyes are watering, nose is running, throat can't talk from my throat, so I'm done. All right, this done. I imagine the next thing I'll do is take that AX rock apart and decide what to do with it. I can use my new added stuff. Well, the next thing I'll do is try to get that easy to boot thing all defraggled properly, so all the ISOs work. Or if there's some that just ain't gonna work, I'll delete them. So anyway, all right. Goodbye for now. Bye bye.